Morning, everybody. So, welcome to the Heart of Business Incubator Series. If you don't know me, my name is Chris Stevens. I'm president of Uncle Dan's Salad Dressings, Dips, and Seasonings, and I am a visionary. It is my fiduciary responsibility to take my company and my employees to a better place to explore. All right, so that's what we're here for. All right, that's what this series is designed to do. It's to help you get better as a business. For those of you who have never been here before, I welcome you to Heart of Business. Nels welcome you. We all do, because we get better as a community. All right, and we get better by working together. And to give you the short nuts and bolts of it, you know, there's a level in this world, whether you want to admit it or not. And this is not to downplay any of our abilities here, but there's a level that's above any of us. Okay, that's above, you know, the people of Fortune 500, the richest people in the world. These are people you never hear about, but make no mistake about it, they run the game. Okay, and what we have to do is try to figure out to play within the rules that they've laid down for us. Well, typically, the good thing for us is their focus is at such a high level, all right, that they don't see us small little businesses down here. All they want to do is absorb us and absorb our communities into their bigger conglomerates. Right? That's not what we're about as small businesses. We need to figure out a way to work together. We do that by coming together, finding out who has what tasks, all right? And that can mirror my company's tasks. And I say it it's really easy to figure out this way. The odds of me at my company level calling up the CEO of Disney, all right, and getting a sit-down meeting and putting a deal together in a simple lunch meeting are not even remotely possible. Okay? Not saying 6 degrees of separation doesn't work, but I don't have enough market share for Disney to go like, okay, yeah, that's a deal. All right, so that's probably not going to happen. But I guarantee that I could probably call the guys over at Silverwood, and we could start working something out. All right, because we serve that same local community. All right, and Disney would naturally be a competitor of ours. So the question is how can we build those relationships? All right, how can we get to know each other better? How can we build that referral network and build our businesses on each other's backs? All right, locally at a grassroots level versus, man, it's great to focus on the big picture stuff, but you know where it really all starts? Right here, period. I don't care if it was Home Depot, Walmart, they all started local. They all started somewhere. That's what's so great about small businesses in this country is we get a chance to expand and explore. Now, I want to give a special shout out to Life Coffee for allowing us to use this space. Dave still doesn't charge us for the space. I see most everybody came in here and did some business with the counter. Thank you very much for that. That's how we get to continue coming here, is by supporting them through that effort. All right. We're going to go around the table here, around the room real quick. I'm going to have you give your 10-second elevator pitch. When I started, that's what you heard from me. All right. President of Uncle Dan's, my fiduciary responsibility is to take my company and my employees to a better place. That's my pitch. Okay, so now we're going to go around the room and we're going to hear from everybody. All right, and then once we're done there, I'm going to hand it over to Stephen. Okay, and he's going to introduce today's speaker. And it's going to be a good one because I actually got talking to him beforehand, and it was actually one of the things I was going to ask the group if they knew anybody who did this kind of service. So, I'm going to start right here with my sushi sensei, Isaac.
Good morning, guys. I'm Isaac with My Sushi Sensei. We are a private chef service that teaches people to roll sushi at home. We specialize in sushi education so that you can experience the best sushi has to offer and never settle for second-rate sushi.
Chris? My name is Nick. Isaac invited me out. Happy to be here. I work over with Hagdog Media. I'm a business development manager. I work specifically with their commercial print team. They do stickers, banners, all kinds of those other things. I do have a side business of my own that I haven't really done a whole lot with. I'm a welder, blacksmith by kind of hobby and trade, so one day I'll do something with that, figure out an application for it. But I'm happy to be here and learn.
My name is Matthew Young with Promise Land Technologies, and I create custom software for small, medium-sized business. And so to use Excel and hate it, then I want to create a software solution for you that takes you out of Excel and puts you in something that's manageable and maintainable, shareable, usable from all sorts of platforms. And yeah, that's what I do.
Awesome. And Michael Christensen invited you, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
Hello everyone, my name is Leo Baroni. I'm with Quality Imaging Supplies. Basically what we do is we specialize in remanufacture toner cartridges for your laser printers and inkjet printers. We're in the business of use and reuse because it makes a product environmentally friendly and it costs you anywhere between, less between 10 to 40% versus the originals that you may be buying right now. Anyways, I'm Leo with Quality Imaging Supplies.
Hello everybody, I'm April Howard with North Idaho Events, and I put on trade shows and bazaars, and most often is my Golden Year Senior Expo, and also North Idaho's Got Talent of Season 5 this summer. And I'm also representing Add Local Value, which is like a digital billboard in your blog.
Awesome. Hi everybody, I'm Sean with Creative Tech Innovations. We are televisions, we are stereo, we are Wi-Fi, we are cameras, and we do it in the commercial space and in the home space.
But you are not a...
I am not a videographer, but I love nails so much.
I'm Chris Hoskins, CLR Bookkeeping and Beyond. I customize a full range of bookkeeping services to your exact company's needs. So as little or as much as you need.
Hi, I'm Christina Kinney. I'm the Development Director at Genesis Prep Academy. We are a private Christian school in Post Falls. We are currently serving 560 students. We have a waiting list of about 300 students, so we're trying to build a new school. So if you have a business or if you have a business. So, and you want to support our fundraising efforts, we are taking sponsorships and donations for our upcoming fundraising event.
Hi everybody, Alan Chance here, WeWorld, and Michael Christensen invited me.
Awesome.
And so we're tasked with the executive marketing team that's handling all WeWorld worldwide. First ever energy unit that is fuelless. It's green, runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in a closed container, can survive any weather. We're getting ready to start shipping these units in the US here in the next month or two. They're already overseas in Singapore, Japan, Costa Rica. And so we're getting ready to do a big launch here, so I figured Michael's like, come down here to the community and start getting these units out here, and thank you.
Hi, I'm Lynn Knapp with the Hitching Post Wedding Chapel. If you're looking for the small, intimate place to get married and you want to bypass all of that hassle and so forth, come to the Hitching Post. We'll take care of you.
Cool.
My name is Erin Bader, and I'm glad to be back. Missed you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I help business owners maximize their strengths, eliminate or minimize their weaknesses so that they can eliminate years of frustration.
I'm Crandall, and I have authored a few books. I dabble in a lot of things. I am in which I'm trying to bring a project to market right now, and I just enjoy coming to these meetings.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Excellent.
Cody Huckins, New York Life Financial Advisor. Just a little tidbit about me is the high school that I went to, Mountain View Alternative School in Rathdrum, has an award named after me called the Going the Extra Mile Award, Cody Huckins Going the Extra Mile Award.
Wow.
So if you do business with me, I will go the extra mile for you.
Nice.
Good morning, Heart of Business. This is John Beebe from, right now I'm a Global Credit Union. I've been there for 7 years. Mortgages for the last 33 years. I didn't know what I did before that. But I am a North Idaho native, so I'm sure I did something bad. I'm not going to explain myself more than that, but anyway, if you guys need a mortgage or know somebody that does, send them to me. I'm happy to talk to them. No pressure, but thank you. My phone number, 255-LOAN.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
That's good stuff.
Hi, my name is Nick Bonds. I focus on organizational development and optimization strategies.
Excellent.
All right. I'm Dr. David Campbell, Wild Oak Wellness, a licensed acupuncturist, and I help people get out of pain or heal whatever is ailing them so they can get back to spending life with their loved ones.
My name is Nils Jensen. I was just walking down the street. This guy over here says, if you come and join this group, I'll give you a free sample.
Sounds great. All right, well, hey, thank you, everybody, and we're going to segue right into what we got going on. Do we have any housekeeping? Our next event is when?
Next
Second-
Thursday.
Next Thursday?
Yes.
Next Thursday morning.
Thursday morning. Is
So
next
second
Thursday morning.
Tuesday of every month is the bash here,
Right,
and then every third Wednesday is our business luncheon.
okay.
Bash is on the night.
Yeah, the bash is on the 9th, and that's a nice little evening networking. Those are usually a lot of fun. We get a different group of people that are in here every week, so.
I actually need to talk about that for a second. So we are combining a couple different, of the most successful bashes that we've had, right? So if you were there for the colored tables, you noticed you got a lot of networking in. If you were there for the drawing the cards out of the hat, you got a lot of networking in. What we're doing this time is we're just combining a couple of the features that were the best, and we're getting rid of the crap that didn't work. The other thing is that we're accepting donations from businesses, whether that's small, big, you could do a box of candy, you could do something from your business, doesn't matter. Tyler left because I kept using him last week as the example. But anyways, guys, we're gonna give mothers special things away, right? So, you know, it could, like I said, it could be a bag of chocolate, it could be a rose, it could be anything, right? But if you donate something, then your business gets spotlighted for a minute when we give that donation away. So it's a real simple way. You could spend $5 and you can market your business in front of 50 other businesses. So if you would like to do a donation, see Steven, see me, see Jen, or see Nels.
What's the price range for that?
No.
Really, whatever you want to do.
500,000 to 500,000.
And so that's the thing is, we recognize that everybody's gonna kind of donate something different, right? We're not trying to get every mom every single thing, right? But what we are trying to do is just do something special, right? So one mom maybe is gonna get like a chocolate bar, and then one mom might get a $50 gift if somebody donates a bottle of wine or something else. So there isn't really a price range, but I wouldn't do a diamond necklace. Unless you get that $500,000 donation, then you do you. If you donate a free year of Genesis Prep, my wife will be here.
So, and it's a good date night, especially if your spouse is a mother. And for those, it's $15 at the door, but for couples, it's $25. Because we give them a bit of a discount there.
So, and I know some of you guys, like April is with like the moms in business type thing, right? It's a great opportunity for them to be able to come network, they don't have to join our group or whatever else, right? But they're gonna get something special and they're gonna network and they're gonna be spotlighted, so.
Cool. Right on. Hey, with that, I'm gonna hand it over to Steven and have him give the introductions and we'll go from there.
Yeah, so this morning we're going to talk marketing with a friend of mine, Josh. I met him and he ran our Facebook ads at the time, but he's also like a back-end guru for marketing, so he knows a lot about everything. And he used to be Miller Media, but what is it now? Something different?
I still own Miller Media, but we created another marketing company, so we have 3 now. TBD Marketing is the new one. So.
Right on. So yeah, Josh Miller, everyone.
Yeah. How's it going, guys? Thank you. Appreciate it. Today I'm just going to talk about specifics. I've done a couple speeches about marketing in general in the past, but I want to go very specific into Google Ads. I have a lot of my business friends and clients that have tons of questions about this stuff, and it's good to know some of the basics to get you guys kind of started. And if you guys want to set up yourselves, or when you talk to somebody about it, at least you'll know what they're talking about too. So we'll dive in a little bit into the content too. Travis couldn't be here today, so I will just pivot on just a brief introduction of what he was going to talk about for the content-wise, and I'll go more in depth with some Google Ads. So I'm actually just going to talk about Google Ads, not specifically the KPIs of lead generation or getting your brand out there. I'm going to talk about the ads specifically and your account specifically of what you need to do to kind of prime it, no matter what your goal objective is in Google Ads. So that's why I brought this underneath this whiteboard. So I'm actually going to give you an example. I'm sure everybody knows where the Google Ads go when they're searching for it in the search results. So say you're doing a Google search. Ad 1 will be at the top right here. And this is the URL browser search. Ad 2 will go right here, and then ad 3. And then this is where the maps will be right there. So I'm sure when you guys search for a service or anything like that, that's kind of what it looks like to you. And then you'll see some business listings right here. Now, in terms of your ads, this goes based off quality score and your bidding. So when you're setting up your account, the quality score is what matters for your advertisements. What I mean by quality score is, so say this advertisement, say let's do pest control, right? And so say this one, pest control service A, you're looking at pest control Post Falls. Say this one is very specific, does Post Falls, and you go to landing page, it's all about pest control in Post Falls. It's very, the quality's there, and you're going to find the search exactly what you're looking for. Say these people are in Spokane, and then these people are in Rathdrum. The quality score, so it's an easy explanation. I'll go into more depth, but so their area specifically, they're targeting all of North Idaho, maybe Spokane, in the same pest control Post Falls, right? But these people have a landing page that somebody's going to go to, and it's going to have Post Falls content, right? And these people won't, right? Their quality score for that keyword specifically is going to be lower than this person. And so Google is going to reward them by making them the first right here, but it's also going to cost them less. These people might be charged, $20, a click. These guys might be charged $45 a click. These guys might be charged $70, right? Because Google, when you're running your ad, you're very specific, because there's keywords are all different. Even though it's pest control, you would think that that's all you kind of need. Pest control Post Falls, pest control service ant control, they're all different keywords in different subcategories of your business. And every business, it doesn't matter whose it is, has subcategories within these keywords. Your ads should all correlate exactly what that ad group is going to be, the keyword group. So if it's ant control, you would have ant control Post Falls, ant control Hayden, ant control residential, commercial ant control, right? That would all be in one little group, and that landing page would be very, very specific. And then Google's going to test all that when it's reviewing your ad, and that will base your quality score. So that's just the basic of the ad, So that's why when people do run Google ads, they're wondering, man, it's really expensive. How is that person affording all these ads? It's costing me so much, and I'm not getting much. Well, if you just set up a basic campaign with just one or two keywords inside of it on Google, and then you just kind of flopped in some headlines, you weren't very specific, you send them to your home page, you're going to spend more on Google in general. You just are.
So you're saying a landing page is better than the home page?
Yes. Yes. You never want to send them your home page. Now, you could test it, right? But normally your home page has a lot of information. It's not very specific. You're basically giving an intro of your entire business. Now let's go into, I don't know, give me an example. Who has a business who runs Google Ads?
Well, we just started like a week ago, and we're getting impressions, but we're getting like no clicks.
Okay. And then what services?
Audio, video.
Audio and video.
Home theater, sound bar,
Okay.
TVs.
That's a good example. So, say you're running Google Ads and you have all these keywords that you're putting into your campaign, and then you're sending them to your home page. You might mention those keywords once or twice on that home page. But there's a lot of other information that Google's gonna be like, well, this isn't exactly what they're looking for because there's too much other things here. Versus your competitor or somebody else that's advertising in your space is going to send them to a landing page that has only audio, only video, only home theater, like you said, right? So those landing pages all have just that one service. That's what the person's looking for, and that's what Google wants them to see. They don't want them to see all these other things.
Meaning just the tabs on your website? You have
Yep.
an audio tab, you have okay.
Yeah, service tabs, or you can have an unlisted landing page on your website, usually is how most people do it. But yes, service pages work as well, because that's all you're talking about is that one service. But you want to bring them to those pages specifically. If you bring them to your home page, your quality score is going to go drastically down, and it's on a scale from 1 to 10. They actually rank it, and you can see it in the back end of your platform too.
And just to rewind for a second, when you were talking about Post Falls and Hayden and the different areas, how does Kootenai County versus Coeur d'Alene, like, do you not recommend using Kootenai County and using the specific cities within Kootenai County, or does it matter?
The area doesn't really matter. I just use that as just a generalization. So the keyword specifically, so if it's pest control, you want to send them to a pest control landing page. and the location won't matter, right? Even if they type in Post Falls, it's just, if they're typing in pest control Post Falls, you know, and somebody's in Spokane, that's very different. You know, that's not even in, that's 30, 40 minutes away from people's service, local service area, right? You might still get an okay quality score because pest control's in there, but the person that's mentioning Post Falls will get a better quality score, you know, because they have a specific landing page that they created and they spent the time to do that. It's a little bit of an extra mile thing, is to area niche down on your landing pages too. You don't necessarily have to do that. But like for example, you know, yours, home theater, if you're sending them to a landing page that also mentions audio and video, it's going to be, Google's going to know that. The crawler is very smart in knowing what the content is, and they want their users to stay on Google, and they want them to have a good experience, so they're going to ding you for that.
Are they doing that based on, I mean, keyword density used to be a big factor in SEO and all that. Does that apply here?
When you say keyword density, what do you mean?
So your keywords, the density with, how many times does this word or this phrase appear in 300 words?
Okay.
You know, so the higher that ratio, the higher the density went up. That used to be a pretty big thing in SEO stuff. Does that apply here on Google's side?
Yeah. So when you do your keyword research, Google will show you what's being searched and the year-over-year change percentage-wise of how many people are searching it in your area specifically.
Is there a limit on the landing page to how many words you want to have on there? Since keyword density plays into it, I mean, we used to write 200-300 word descriptions multiple different ways back in the days, you know, to beat that SEO type stuff. How does that apply to that? Does that matter on the landing page?
It does, yeah. So you don't want just like a landing page that only has like a couple things just cause, you know. You want it to look like something. You want it to basically answer all your customers' questions. You want them to go there and have everything answered. They know exactly what they want. They know what you do, and they're going to call you. You don't want to send them a landing page that just has like contact information and a little blurb that says like, you know, this is what we do. And then just because of it's a landing page, you had to create that. You want to go really in depth with those landing pages, just like SEO, right? SEO, you got to really niche down that stuff. You have to have a lot of good content. Same with Google. They look for that stuff.
Relevancy is really important.
Correct. Yes, relevancy. Because SEO, like just you mentioned, I'm sure a lot of you have dabbled into SEO, learned a little bit about it for your business. Google ads are kind of the same thing. You're just paying for those spots, right? You still need the quality content. You can't just send them. You can't just tell Google, well, I'm paying you. I should be getting all these clicks. No, you also need to follow Google's best practices and say, okay, if I'm the customer and I'm clicking on my ad, or you know, or I'm searching for this and I see my ad, where am I going to bring them to? How am I going to feel when I go on that landing page? Am I going to want to buy from them, or am I going to go to the next guy that might be right here, but his landing page is really, really nice, you know, and he answered all my questions. I'm going to call him.
Is there a place where Google? I'm sorry. Is there a place where Google like shares all this information?
No.
Good job figuring it out. That's the question I wanted everybody to hear, because this is really, really important.
Google doesn't tell you anything.
This is the secret sauce, because Amazon doesn't tell you shit either, all right? It's a play on Amazon. So this is really important to listen to how he's talking about.
And do you work with people one-on-one, like you work with businesses to help them, or is this just outside?
Yeah, I do. I run a lot of people's paid advertising out here.
Okay.
So, I also white label for the 3 largest marketing companies out here too. So,
Well,
they facilitate me.
And the thing is, even if there was a place with those rules, it's gonna change into a 3 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. They have updates every 6 months, so yeah, you gotta keep up with the updates. But yeah, they're very vague. They do give you the tools to look at that stuff though. So when you go into your Google Ads platform, if you're, say, here's the Google Ads screen, and then you have all these tabs, all these tabs on the side. When you open up, you've got your campaign, your ad groups, your keywords, all that good stuff. If you go into the ad groups and then you go into the keywords right after, there'll be a column button right here. I'm just showing you kind of like just where you need to look. It goes like this, and it'll say adjust columns. And when you go in to do that, you go to quality, and there'll be a little tab check mark over here with a bunch of squares, and it'll say what it is. You want to go quality score, click-through rate, and a landing page experience, and all that. It'll tell you all that with that keyword, and then it'll generate it right here for you, and it'll give you your score, and you can see how good or how bad you're doing.
How much time, if you've created a landing page, how much time do we have to grab that customer? What are you seeing on that side? Because
So when they go on the landing page,
yeah, they land on
you
your
have
landing
4
page.
seconds.
4 seconds. 4 seconds for those eyes and that person to grab
Before
what
they
they're trying to
move
tell
on.
them, before they click out.
Yeah, so you have 4 seconds to basically, they're gonna skim real quick to make sure it's gonna be what they were looking for, and if it's not exactly, they're gonna go right off and you're gonna have a high bounce rate too. So you just pay $40 a click for them to just hop right
What's
off.
a typical bounce rate?
Typical bounce rate, a good one, 30% or lower.
Right.
Average, anywhere from 31% to maybe 59, 60 and higher, bad. Alright, so you wanna be at the low one. You wanna be the low click-through rate, because you're gonna be paying for that. You know, you're paying for that traffic. And so that's just the quality score, right? So I just wanted to kind of bring that up. The second part of it that dabbles into the content-wise is I'm gonna erase this. I mean, I have chicken scratch, sorry guys.
We recorded it.
Sorry if it's like really like you're trying to follow along in my handwriting bad, but you know. Okay, so say they go, you know, from your ad, right, and then they go to your website, right? Most people think that's all that the customer's doing, right? And everybody has their opinions. Everybody thinks, no, oh, everybody just goes to the landing page. They don't look at anything else about my business. They're not going to hop off. They're just looking for me. No. You have pools of audiences, right? Maybe audience 1, these guys just want to go to the landing page, find the service call, right? Audience 2 goes to the landing page, pops off, goes to Facebook, right? And then they go back to the website, call, okay? Say audience 3 goes to the landing page, goes to Facebook, then goes to your Google listing, right? GMB, looks up your reviews, then goes to your website. Audience 4 goes to your website, Facebook, GMB, right? Then goes to YouTube, right? Sees if you have any content. Maybe goes back to Facebook to see your content there. Now they look up Facebook videos. They want more information, and then they hop back to your website call, right?
That just looks like a football game.
Yeah. So it's when you're doing Google Ads, it's not just Google Ads you need to do, right? Google Ads is a very, very good lead generation. It's going to make you a lot of money when you do it right. But you cannot neglect your social medias, your Google listings, your content. It doesn't even be YouTube, that was just an example, but any other conglomerate that your business is going to generate content, you need to have there. Because you would be surprised at how low percentage this is. Like around 30% or less are the number one. Most people want to use somebody that they're going to trust, they're going to spend money with, and they want to see what they do. People are very social nowadays. Yes.
So if people search in Google Maps because they want it location specific, does the ad have any effect on the maps findings or?
Yes, so when you're running Google Ads, the keywords, there's extensions. So it's called location extensions. And when you type when you have a location extension on your ad, so you have your whole campaign, all your keywords, those extensions is what it's going to add onto your map pack. So you see like that first one that says ad, usually on when you're
I don't use Google to search, but I do use
on the maps. Yeah, that first one's usually an ad. And so that first one is from a location extension that you need to just include. All you got to do is connect your GMB to your Google Ads account. That's it. And then you go and create an extension. Boom, it's going to showcase on your maps. And maps are used 40% of the time on searches. People just search for a service on maps or anything, right?
So for Google, I want to go back to like pretty much the very first thing you wrote on the board before you erased it,
Okay.
the location piece.
Yeah.
If we serve, like we're in Post Falls, but we serve a wider range, like can we use keywords that cover each town? Or do we just need to stick with our primary location?
So when you're doing Google's pretty smart with the keywords. You don't necessarily need to put in your campaign a location after your service. In your settings of your campaign, there's targeting areas that you can go into. You can go into very specific zip codes, or you can do area radiuses or just specific towns, right? So your campaign, if you have a smaller budget, you kind of want to put those together probably. You know, if you're targeting Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, North Idaho, and you have a small budget, you probably want to put one campaign targeting both of those. If you have a large budget or medium size, I would do 2 separate campaigns per area, 3 if you have another third area, 4th, just so you can have really good targeted data and you can use that later on for your advertising, to niche down on those areas and see which one's actually performing the best, so then you don't spend money on areas that aren't gonna produce, right? So there's a little bit, but yes, to answer your question, you do not have to put location-specific keywords in your ad groups. I actually don't do that at all. I was just using it as an example. I should have chosen a different example. You know, so yeah, the area-specific stuff is it knows what they're searching for in that area when your campaign is targeting that, right? The only place that doesn't apply is if you're in real estate and you want people to look for houses out here, right? And you want people to see Coeur d'Alene stuff. You would definitely put Coeur d'Alene or Hayden, Post Falls, and those keywords if they're searching outside of here. They're not in your targeting radius locally, and they're just looking for homes here or they're looking for services here, but they live like, you know, in Arizona or something. Then those would be good. You would have a separate ad group for that. So.
I would say that our organization probably might fall under that category at some point, just because we have a lot of families moving to the area that are searching just Christian schools in general.
Right.
So then how do you, and then most of our families don't live in Post Falls. They live,
You would basically do an ad group right here, and you would put exact match keywords. So you would have a keyword that's your business or what you're marketing, Post Falls, you know, put that exact keyword. You do not want anybody searching in anything other than that, and you make it US-wide, right? And you have that one ad group separately from everything else locally. And so it'll give a little bit of a budget to somebody typing in that exact keyword from anywhere in the US. But you do not want to put anything other than exact match, because you will start paying for a ton of keywords all of a sudden across the US that have nothing to do with you all of a sudden. You want that just exact keyword, right?
And I found out about that too. If you don't speak multiple languages, you're gonna get calls that you don't understand.
Yes, that's correct. I'm gonna run by the content real quick, and then we'll just do Q&A. So the content-wise, so getting back to, you know, the audience, how their journey after they find you, pretty much content-wise, so the CEO of Facebook and Instagram just came out and said, in order to grow on social media, you need a minimum of 1 piece of video content per day and 6 stories. So a day on social media, on all platforms, on Facebook and Instagram. And so that's a lot, right? If you're not doing that, you're not going to grow. You just won't. Even in a local area, they're not going to push you out. They only push out your content to 0.5% of your audience that follows you when you post. And if nobody engages with it within the first couple hours, nobody will see it. So that's why you need to be very consistent with your content. And so that ties into this. If you have a big audience, or if you have a lot of content coming into it, and somebody goes to your Facebook page, goes to your social media platforms, goes to your GMB, because GMB is a social media now. You can post content here, and people look at that. If you're posting a lot of content.
Catalog of acronyms.
I'm sorry? Oh yeah, sorry. Google my business, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you're posting content and they go and find you, and they want to see social proof of your company, because there are tons of people coming out of companies here now, which is why it's so important, is because this used to be a very, very hyper-local area where people were just very close-knit and they used the same companies. Now we have hundreds of thousands of people that live here, across from Post Falls all the way to Ratram and beyond, right? With all that influx of people, everybody here is pretty much on high alert on they want to use local businesses. They don't want to be corporate. So your content is showing them that you're in the area, you care about the community, and they want to use your service, right? Even the people that move here, they're moving here for community in general. You know, nobody comes from California to here like I did, you know, not wanting a community, right, for their family. And so, pretty much, you need to make sure that the people will see your business. It looks sketchy if they go from your ad to your website. Your website looks good, and then they go to your social media and you have like 1 follower, and you have like 1 piece of content that's like from like 2014, right? They probably won't want to do business with you at that point, because they're like, well, these people they're not even active. I don't even want to call them, right? Next to the guy that's like posting 5-second videos every single day of him getting coffee, right? Even that content's better than no content.
So for those of us that are in these meetings like every week and really rooted into each other, the best thing we could do is all follow each other's pages, right?
Oh, 100%, yeah. 100%. Like me, I own North Idaho
David,
Businesses
did we jump on
Entrepreneurs
that for
page.
next week, please?
I just create pages just to create it, just so there's content flowing, right? You can do the same thing, create groups, create pages, people follow it, and then you get to play off those followers and have people follow your pages. You know, that's why, you know, in Facebook it's all free. Like I created 4 pages. North Idaho Business Entrepreneurs is the only one that actually like has followers right now, and it's and I don't even do anything with it. I just created it. But people post content. Now I have like 1.5 thousand businesses that are on that thing, and they're all living in Coeur d'Alene because I'm the one that has to accept their or approve their stuff. You can do the same thing for your business. Pest control, you know, whatever, I'm sorry, what was the name of your business?
Creative Tech.
You know, creative tech, and then have this like, you know, group, you know, have people follow that for information, or just create like coffee and concepts type of stuff, right? But then when you're on social media too, go and interact, comment on people's stuff, you know, interact with other businesses. If somebody's asking for a referral, tag somebody from here, right? It's just, you're creating content, but then you're also creating videos. And so that's why I pivot into that, because pictures don't work anymore. So I know that's an easy thing to post pictures, they just don't work. And the CEO actually said they're pivoting their platform to a video-only platform to combat TikTok. So they're not even focusing on their photographs anymore, Instagram.
So how do you start a group page on Facebook? Can you give us some information?
So when you go on the Facebook page, on the Facebook, you know, homepage, there's a tab on the side, left-hand side. You click on that and it says pages or groups. And when you click on that, you can click create.
Okay. Let me.
So that's pretty much, pivoting into content-wise, we were talking about that you're creating content. Don't overthink your content. You don't need, you know, like, you're creating it, right? But you need the editor, right? You can actually your content does not need to be produced. Like you for example, you shouldn't even need to pay an editor. I think you should just do super simple clips. If anybody messes up, who cares? It's social media, right? Just post it. Don't overthink it. I mean, the amount of businesses that just feel overwhelmed because they think they have to have a highly produced piece of content. While you're thinking about that, your competitor is just coming out with content that looks like it's from the 90s, right? But they're on there. You know, they don't care. They don't care what people think.
My competitor's paying Jada De Laurentiis, Bobby Flay.
You might have a different use case, right? You might have a different specifics, but I'm just trying to use that as an example for the. Yeah.
So let me interject this. I've been thinking about this for a long time, because our Facebook group and page needs more content. And so I offer this. Anyone who would like to post content on our pages, what I'd like to do, like in the industry, for example, car insurance, if you're an insurance agent, you could post something about the value of getting comprehensive over state minimum, because you could be on the hook for the rest of your life for the cost of an accident. So let's be precise, don't make it 100% commercial. Put something about your industry out there. April can talk about events and the value of events and so on and so forth without saying, call me, call me, call me, call me. And we can all do that. And unless it's a nasty post, we'll let it ride with it. So you're welcome to do that.
Well, and even content, we've noticed when we produce content that's a step away from what we do, the response rates are amazing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we can get a double open response rate or a double click-through open rate, all right, on newsletters and things like that when we post stuff that is not related to what we do.
Right.
It blows my mind that people
It's
get
mostly
that
because you're
interactive
being
on
social.
stuff. Right.
You know, you're on a social media platform. You know, and if you're just be like, hey guys, you know, I'll clean your house. Like, people aren't looking at, so they're not on social media for that. They're on social media to veg out, escape. You know, they just got off work. They don't want to think about they need to hire somebody. So how can your content stand apart organically, right? Facebook ads, totally different story. There's a whole strategy behind that to make sure it's social and sales, you know, oriented. But organic content, a mixture is healthy, right? You can still advertise your business. No one's saying that, but you do need the content though that also makes you social and it makes you followable, right? No one's gonna follow you if your page is constantly just trying to sell your business. They're not gonna follow that page, right? They're gonna follow the page though that might have a piece of content that they thought was funny, entertaining, or you know, got their emotions flowing or whatever.
That right
They're gonna
there,
follow you.
The funny, the entertaining, that would you just said, the funny, the entertaining, non-business related, I mean, what we're all sold to every day.
Right.
Okay, I mean, we get enough of that, we know how to filter all that stuff out, and you're right, because that entertainment factor builds an engagement piece, so.
Yes.
A dunk tank filled with ranch.
Exactly.
I'm curious.
What dogs love ranch too?
Can you give an example of a non-business post you made that got a lot of engagement?
So, well,
Yeah.
I've got a good point to that actually that I was gonna ask you. So once upon a time in this room, we were told that the best thing that you could do when you post a part of your business is to post a picture of your dog or your kid. How solid advice is that? We had somebody 2 months ago say that's the thing to do.
Well, no, that was me, and I was talking, and what I was trying to do was draw the correlation to the fact that pets are really popular to watch on channels. They're very entertaining, particularly if you get puppies or dogs playing or something like that. We wanted to spin off Dogs of Uncle Dan's, okay, and actually create a small little series on those furry little, you know, fur babies that we have that are engaging, you know, but the hook line was gonna be Dogs Love Ranch too, you know, and so what? You know, and then to help pull you into that. So it gets more engagement, it gets more contact. Somebody who's maybe, you know, 2 or 3 people removed from the follower that you've got, they're just eyes on, are probably gonna be more interested in watching the dogs than learning about ranch salad dressing. But by watching the dogs, which pulled them in, we now have the ability to market directly to them. So that's kind of where that piece comes through. And literally, I'm trying to remember what we did here recently. We did it a couple weeks ago. We pasted some, was it the Walmart one?
That was your highest rating.
That, yes, thank you. Yeah, somebody did their research on me. So yes, it was just saying that we got accepted into 552 Walmart stores nationwide. Okay, that open rate, I mean, it doubled anything we've done in the last year. So stuff that's not directly selling, but letting people know that's an enhancement to what you're doing, absolutely.
What is your business again?
Custom software.
Software?
Software, yeah.
Okay. So like our 2 top rated posts recently have like, the one we posted recently, what hits a lot is when we highlight our students. So like we just announced our Idaho Scholars. So that was like a huge engagement rate when we were able to congratulate the accomplishments of others.
So let me pivot off of that real quick, because what you just said. We're not saying you have to create some entertaining show.
Yeah.
If you just do a day in the life of what you're doing, that's literally it.
Yeah.
That's the easiest thing you can do. I got up in the morning, I got my kids dressed, I could have taken a picture of my kids, right? That would have been the day in the life of what I do, right? Or, you know, if I'm in a client meeting, we're taking a photo together at the end, we're taking a video together at the end, we're posting that, day in the life, right? I'm just posting stuff. It takes me like 10 seconds to do that. It doesn't take me much time, and I'm creating the content. I'm not selling to anybody.
So
I'm just being social.
For you, set up a tripod like this and do 10 seconds of B-roll of you just clicking on your computer and typing. Like literally that's like the top engagement videos right now.
Well,
for your industry.
and I was gonna ask, how would you change your approach for businesses that are targeting businesses instead of, like, no one's gonna...
So no approach change.
Okay.
You just have a smaller pool of people.
Yeah.
And you have to be very, very aware of that, right? So when you're doing your Google ads, you're targeting businesses. What I usually do for B2B is say they're in a very niche market and they need to target, say, hospitals. I will target just those hospitals. I'll go and get a list of 1,000 hospitals and just target just 1,000 hospitals. Those people that are going to go into that hospital and they match my audience of that they work there. They're not just going. They're only going to see my ad, right? Because I don't want anybody else to see it. And I'm also filtering out other audiences of people that are in the market for the service, not in the market to utilize, like, you can segment it from a business to an actual customer too in your audience segments. So you have to do a little bit more than a normal business would be if they're going B2C. If you're going B2B, there's just more you have to think about. And if you mess up on that one thing, you're gonna spend so much money on ads and not get any return, you're gonna think it doesn't work.
Yeah.
How many people run Facebook ads and they're like, oh, Facebook ads don't work?
Yeah, I do that.
Yeah, exactly. It does work, it's just you did it wrong, right? So, so you get, there's a right and a wrong way to set these things up, especially on Google too. You're gonna spend money, you know, that's hard to just spend money and nothing happens. It does happen, even if you do it right.
I just did a video that's going on today.
Yeah, there you go. You're right, so.
Nelson, can you tag me in that video, please?
So just to sum it up, just a, you know, quality score, super big thing. Be very specific in your advertisements, even on Google. Segment your ad groups. Ad groups meaning your basically folders that your keywords are in. The ad groups are basically where your keywords are. Make multiples of those. If you have different services, if you have different names for your business or your service, each ad group with maybe 1 to 20 keywords, you know, make them phrase match. I would actually just write that one down for sure. Phrase match, just remember that. Phrase and exact. Do not use broad match keywords unless you have an unlimited amount of budget.
Phrase match?
Yeah, there's 3 types of keywords on Google. There's broad match, phrase match, and exact match. Exact match meaning they have to type the exact thing that you put in there. Phrase match meaning if you put in pest control, anything before and after that, and in between pest control, your ad will show up, which is usually what you want to do. Phrase match, but they still have to have the word pest control in there. They still have to have the word home theater. You know, any other type of business, it has to have that keyword in it.
These are checkboxes,
And
where you check off exact match, phrase
Nope.
match, or? Okay.
So in order to do that, broad match has nothing. It's just a word in your ad group. Phrase match has quotations for your keyword. Exact match has brackets. So when you set those up, you know, you can also just have a keyword generator tool. There's like a bunch of free ones, and when you type in your keyword, you can just check box phrase, and it'll give you a copyable thing.
What was the second term? Broad match and phrase match?
Phrase match and exact match. So that's just a little tidbit I wanted to put in there because that's a big mistake too. Yes.
I was going to ask. I was going to ask, what services do you do specifically? Is it ads, or do you do like the full suite services for marketing and advertising?
Yeah, we're a full service digital marketing agency. So we do anything from website building to videography, cinematography, anywhere from branding, anything like that. So,
okay.
Paid advertising is just something that's, you know, pretty good out here, especially with coupling that with SEO. Your SEO can skyrocket pretty quickly when you're running ads, forcing the keyword. So my biggest portion of my business is running ads for people out here, and they've been killing it.
So outside of running ads, what would you say is probably 2 or 3 of the most important things that we need to address on our websites then?
For the landing page specific?
Yeah, to help with, if you wanted to move into the ad base, what's the background piece of making sure that network that you do on that board right there works?
So first thing, making sure you have very concise and readable content. It's not a bunch of text. You want a video right there in the forefront, a video that captures their eye, maybe just a B-roll background, something movable right when they hit the page, right, to just keep them there. Then you want call to actions, right? You want the call to action always on the header that follows the navigation link. You always want your website to make sure that navigation follows the page down. You never want it to just disappear when you're scrolling. Some people's websites have that, and it just drives me nuts. That call to action needs to stay there. Then you have other call to actions if they want FAQs, if they want, you know, to email or get a quote or call. These are all on that landing page. The content, you need that first portion of that content to be very specific. You're looking for this. This is what I do. This is why we do it in this community. Here's all of our reviews. Here's our testimonials. Here's our call. Call us now. Get a quote. Then after that, FAQs, any other information about us. This is me. Whatever. No one's going to really go down there as much. They're just going to go in the first portion of that website that wants them that they're looking for.
So within the services that you offer, do you help isolate what maybe some of those keywords are, or those customers, or those customer types?
I do, yeah.
That ad is going to be put in front of.
Yeah, because there's a whole, so in order to like find that exact, you know, your audience, right? there's a whole journey you gotta go to see what service you have, what people are looking for. Your competitors, you gotta make sure that you see what they're doing too, see what ads they're running, because you can, I use SEMrush, right? So that tells me a lot about competitors. I can see what they're doing. What keywords people are looking for in your area, what the volume is, and Google has free tools for that as well. And making sure that you see there's an uptrend in Google Trends for your business in general. You don't want to run ads to a keyword that no one searches up, right? And then when you set up your ad, you want to make sure your headlines are going to be better than your competition. So you're going to go online, Google the keyword, right? And you don't need to do it for every keyword, just the keyword group, what that service would be. See who's running and look at their headlines and how you can do better, right? Then do your due diligence and sit there and create these headlines. Don't skim through Google Ads. I guarantee you 90% of people that, probably a lot of you too, you go to the Google Ads platform, you want to get that done as fast as possible. You don't want to sit on there and go like, oh my gosh, I got to create all these headlines. You probably only do the bare minimum headlines too, right? You don't care about any of the other suggestions. You just go for, is Google giving me a good percentage and a pat on the back on what they say I'm doing? Most of the time they do. Those little badges, when you set up an ad and it gives like, you're doing great. Oh, an excellent score. Those don't matter. Those are just for people. That's not actually doing anything for your ad. So like when I run ads, usually that optimization score when you log into your homepage, mine's usually like 2% for my clients because I tell them to ignore it completely. All it's doing is Google's suggesting things for me to spend money, and it's telling me up my optimization score.
Right.
Yeah, no, I just ignore it completely. I'm not having my client waste money. In the ads, it'll say low ad rank. There's nothing that's preventing your ads from showing up in the best spot at the lowest cost because Google's telling you have a low ad rank. Right? Your quality score is what matters.
I've been doing this a long time. Playing in the internet world, you've had several different companies that are, and I'm listening to this because I know how overwhelming it can be.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting here next to Lynn and I'm listening to her breathing, like, oh my God, I don't know how to figure out how to do this, and this is so important, guys. I've spent a lot of money, I've spent a lot of time trying to figure out what the secret sauce are, and then you go into Amazon, and it's even a different doc.
Yeah,
so
Amazon's a whole platform
itself. Yeah, each one is its own little individual thing, but start somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
and that content creation, I agree with you, that content creation is king.
Yeah.
If you're doing that and just posting that, even if it's you just type it on a keyboard. Like I've thought about it, I have a hard time putting myself in camera because I can't unfuck the director and the actor. Okay, we've talked about this before, right? And that's, I either want to be on one side of the camera or the other. I can't be both. So it gets really hard for me to kind of like, okay, that doesn't sound good. And then before I get all frustrated.
Right.
So don't get frustrated. Know that this is a process,
Mm-hmm.
step to go through. And to have people like this that you can, like Josh, to be able to bounce these ideas off of or use them as a service, it will save you a ton of money, and most likely it will save you a ton of time. Okay, because it's not easy what he's doing. It's a very complex world that we're living in right now. So
Yeah.
So what would you say are the best platforms? Because this could be full-time for me, I don't have it. You got LinkedIn, Line, you've got Facebook, you've got TikTok. I mean, what would you say are the best platforms to be on?
Just for advertising, or just to be on?
To be on content?
That is totally up to where your audience is. You just need to know where they are. So if you have a local coffee shop right here, for example, you're probably gonna be on Facebook, right? You're not gonna be on TikTok making content. Oh, actually, you know what? That's a whole nother story. But TikTok, man, is just that. I actually like that. That's my second choice after Facebook. But yeah, you'd be on Facebook. You just got with your business. You just got to find where your audience is going to be and what they're looking up currently. And when you find that out, then you just invest 80% of your time into one platform only, and then spend 20% of your time on the other ones. So.
Oh, awesome. Hey, we got one more question here, and then I want to wrap it up.
About finding that target market and identifying who those people are,
Mm-hmm.
what's the best way to go about doing that?
Put yourself in your customer's shoes, right? Where are you, right? Like, are you on Facebook out here? Are you looking up businesses on TikTok? Are you watching content on YouTube about what you do? Start with that first, right? And then go to your customer journey. how do they get the information for what I do, right? And then who am I marketing it to? Am I marketing it local or am I marketing it US wide? So then you're like, okay, well, you know what? A lot of my competitors' content or content about my business is on YouTube, right? And I'm targeting the US wide. I'm just gonna start doing YouTube videos that are showcasing what I do, and I'm gonna make myself an authority figure and advertise on that platform as well as create content. You're local, mainly just Facebook. I mean, that's a super easy question. I mean, if you have a local business out here, most of your time should be spent just on Facebook. Everybody's out on Facebook. Even the news is on Facebook here. So I would just start there. That'd be your first platform if you're targeting local.
So I know Chris is wrapping it up. For our video and our future Heart of Business people that may watch this video, and the business owners in here, if people want to meet with you one-on-one, what is the best way to get a hold of you, and what's a good next step?
Yeah, so you can just Google TBD Marketing, Coeur d'Alene, or we're on 4th and Sherman.
We don't want to do Google.
Right. You can give me a call at 208-964-0887, or you can go on our website at tbdmarketingco.com. So all the information is there as well. Or just go to the local coffee shops or go down Sherman. Our office is on 4th and Sherman right there in that CDA Corner Store building. So you probably see me walking around and stuff like that. And if you catch me, you can just ask me some questions. I always give people my time. I don't normally charge for my time unless it's very specific. So awesome.
Hey,
thanks guys.
Josh,
Thanks for having me. Yeah,
Josh.
appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you.
I'd like to, I'd go so far as I'd like to have him back, but have him get a little bit more specific of what an ad build actually looks like and how it lands, and how it would actually, so you can physically see what he's talking about here. It sounds really, really complicated, but I think he's got a system in play, all right, to know how to make the whole thing work together. So I want to thank everybody for being here today. That was super informative. Josh, thank you very much. Really
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
And I want to open this up for you guys can network now and ask questions. You can grab Josh or work with other people in the room. But thanks for coming, and we'll see you next Thursday.
Thank you.